clearly one of the kings of misery out here.
Does the speed of light actually have anything to do with light?
Alright, so a lot of this is a cheat sheet for the periodic table.
So what is it about the speed of light that's so special?
Lagrange?
Why does the
Lambda?
universe seem to conspire
Depends on which
to
one they do.
keep photons
You
from
will
traveling
get
at
into the
any
book of the
speed
Nook,
but
Mother,
300,000
Brother,
kilometers per
Sister,
second in
Chemistry,
vacuum, according to any
Sectors,
observer?
and
two,
be
keep
careful.
anything
Use
from
what
traveling
you can.
faster than that speed? The answer? This statement is
Measure?
false,
Does
or
it?
at least backwards. The universe doesn't arrange itself to keep the speed of light constant.
So,
in fact, space-time couldn't care less
what
about
causal
light.
is?
The cosmic speed limit is about something much deeper.
I want to throw a
This
lot of work
universal
inside here.
constant is
These
perhaps
guys
more
are doing
accurately
a value
the
that
speed
sometimes
of
at the
causality.
table
In a
once
previous
in a
episode, we
marshmallow
talked about causality
is
by way
good.
of the space-time
These have
interval.
different
Causal
particle
connections
slip
give us the only
positions
ordering of events that
in
all
terms of
observers
more
will agree
slits.
on. But why must causality have a maximum
we doing
speed?
Lorenz out here?
And why is that
Redshift and
speed
red
the
colored
same as the speed of
Lorenzos.
light? To understand this, let's first
This
get
is
our heads around
optics.
two of the most
This is
important
gonna be
insights in
inside here.
physics
Area
ever.
by black hole
Ready?
play.
First,
area and
1632.
square length
Frilly
is width on
collars,
height.
pilgrims in
Triangle.
Plymouth,
AB.
and in Italy, Galileo was
Just gonna
about to
start
be
some simple
dragged off
things.
by the Inquisition
We're just
for
here in
his
Florida.
book supporting
All over the
Copernicus
road.
and the whole
All
Earth is
over
not the
the
center
road.
of the
People get
universe
ganked.
thing. But in this book, there's another less well-known idea.
Crazy stories
his principle
about
of
kings
relativity.
and
This is
popes
not
and
Einstein's
religions and all
relativity, but
kinds of fun
instead
stuff that
the
gets
brilliant
wild.
precursor.
And when you get a
Not
lot
only
more
is Earth, or indeed
entropy
any other
on the
location,
internal
not
containment
special,
through
but
eschatology on
Galileo
that,
posits that no
you
velocity
could
is special
do
either.
geology
To put it
and
another
get
way,
gravity
all experiments should
about
give the same
archaeology and
results
vector
regardless of the
positions, but you're gonna
velocity
feel
of your
like you're running a
non-accelerating
Cthulhu
or
click on
inertial frame of
Warhammer
reference.
for
This Galilean relativity is an incredible insight that Isaac Newton would later codify into his
Isaac
laws of
Newton was
motion.
there.
Fast
FMA
forward
on
to
the
the
derivative
1800s.
of times
Top
B
hats, steam
on
trains,
system. It's his
and
system
mad
every day.
experiments to uncover the laws
Yep.
of electricity
Yep.
and magnetism.
In some of
Enter
those systems,
James
oil
Clerk
can
Maxwell,
guy,
scientific
you know,
maestro,
get his
who
name,
weaves
Mike
these
Rowe talks
laws
about
into his
black guy,
eponymous
you know.
equations, describing the
Doing it.
entire
Just
electromagnetic
doing it.
phenomenon with such elegance.
Lots of ladies.
By the late
Sophia
1800s,
Germain,
we have
you got
Maxwell's
Sophie
equations,
Stars,
Newton's
you
mechanics,
got Madame
various
Curie,
other
of
awesome
course,
theories,
Pain.
and there's this
Those
sense that
sectors
physics
under the
might
names,
be
right?
done.
And the FMA and inch
Except
gravity.
there are
If that
hints
was
of
in the room
something
with you, if it had to
horribly
be
wrong
math, FMA,
lurking in
and the
math.
saws
Actually,
about
two hints.
this
The
guy.
first clues
might
to the
turn
bizarre
over
quantum
one tweak
nature of
from the three
reality
sets on
had
the strong
emerged,
force, the weak
and,
force,
more importantly for this
electromagnetism,
episode,
gravity, of
Maxwell's
course. I'm gonna
equations
hit
had
that.
cast confusion on the
Derivative
sacred Galilean
times
relativity.
the snowflake
In fact,
in the area
we
of the
now
page,
know that
8
even Newton's
5 by 8
mechanics
piece of
were
paper
using
in
assumptions
90
that
days.
implied an infinite
Start
speed
turning
of
over
light,
how many of those
which
you
is
get on
really
Hubbards
bad. It would
prize
imply that space
about
and time and matter don't
condensing
exist. But I'm
megabytes
getting
in a
ahead of
system,
myself.
general
First, let me
relativity,
explain the
volume
issue with
reduction,
Maxwell's
Bernoulli
equations. Imagine a
systems,
pony
Bell's
on
equality,
rollerblades with a
inequality,
monkey
Z
skateboarding along
being
its
a
back,
black hole,
and make it an
hydrogen,
electric
levels of
Why?
gaining
Well,
mass still,
magnetism comes from
riding
moving
rocket
electric
ship here,
charges.
man.
So an electric skater monkey on a rollerblading pony generates a
Wednesday.
magnetic field,
I can't remember
obviously, and I can figure out the field strength from Maxwell's
Alright,
equations,
so when you
based
take a
on what
picture
I see
of
as
this
the
area,
monkey's total
I got
velocity.
general
But what
relativity,
is that velocity?
Genesis,
Galileo and
Rome's
Newton
got it.
tell
Oh,
us
the one stone
that
Buddha
total
monument
monkey
is
speed
usually what I
equals
cut
pony
here.
blade
A,
speed
B,
plus
but
monkey
he's
skate
still on a
speed.
turbulent flow
But what
for
if this
tube
very
because
clever pony
momentum
also
on
solves
that's going to
Maxwell's
say him
equations?
to do that. I've
She
built
sees
a-
the monkey
have to
moving
look
at
at it and
only
watch it
monkey
for a
skate
while.
speed, and so gets a
On all
totally
those
different
systems,
magnetic
being through
field.
glass,
So
just being
who's
the
right,
monkey
me
riding
or the
he
pony?
is
The
the
key
one.
lies in what we actually measure. We don't measure magnetic field, we measure its effect. We measure force. And the pony measures the same force that I do.
There's a lot
See,
about
there's a
time,
velocity-dependent
dilation,
trade-off
top
between
of
the
the
electric
mountain,
and
bottom
magnetic
and
field.
is the heat
The two work
equation.
together
These
to give you
can
the same
absolutely be
electromagnetic or
cheated.
Lorentz force.
Like I said, they can
Regardless
be
of reference
the
frame, this
droid
tells us
on
that the
Sam's
electromagnetic
to
force
individual
holds
sectors
clues
that
to the
last long
fundamental
enough in
interplay
an
between
area, but
space,
there's
time,
meat
and
on the
velocity.
bone. So you
How
would
do we
have to
unravel that
move.
connection?
You would have to
It's
do
going to be
things. You
encoded
would
in the
have to
transformation
set
that
that
will allow
system to an
Maxwell's
area
equations to jump
and
seamlessly
equality,
between reference
general
frames.
between the private about
Transformation
needing
that
those numbers on
represents space
Murphy's
and
law and
time
the
in
rapid
our
deceleration
reality.
of a
This
rocket.
transformation thing, it's like a mathy magic wand that you wave at your description of space-time or your physical laws, and it'll bump you between reference frames.
It's
Harry
doing
Potter
the
style.
amazing.
Wingardium
It's just that
Leviosa.
nice
An
grip
example
on
is the
the
Galilean
tune because
transformation,
Marshmallow's sleeping.
which basically
That's
says
probably-
that velocities add together and
That's not
space
those
and
treasures
time
over
don't
there
depend
doing
on velocity.
their work in jewel.
Newton's mechanics use it, and we just applied it to Maxwell's equations to get total monkey speed. But
Get the
it turns out that there's
Canadians
no way to write out
mathematics,
Maxwell's
George
equations
Carlin
so that they give
condensing
consistent results under the
commandments, but
Galilean transformation.
in
They
number
aren't
theory,
invariant
prime
to that
on
transformation.
how
They
you
sort of give the right
form
force at low
X,
speeds, but the
Y
fields are a
source
mess.
code
And at high
where I
speeds,
cut out, make an
forget
add,
about it.
double
So,
slap
does this
inside of
mean
this for
Maxwell
general
was
relativity.
wrong?
Just throw in a
No,
marshmallow
it
from the
means the
stone
Galilean
in
transformation
one
is
straight
wrong.
line.
The
One
transformation
straight line. But
underpinning
I also
Newton's
could
mechanics is
put
wrong.
matrices
The only
inside of that on
transformation
that
that
Terminator
works is
game.
called the Lorentz transformation. And it was discovered even before Einstein's
Quality in the
relativity.
Feynman diagram
But it was
here, it's still
Einstein
the same
who realized that the Lorentz
frame.
transformation
Gonna be the
tells us how
XYZ
space
on
and
the
time are
45.
connected.
Hubble's
And
lens
that
in
it
on this
also
thing.
predicts the
Pretty
speed of
boss.
causality.
And the way to
Now
do
you
it
can
is
get to
they're
this
dead.
transformation
Play
the
with
way
it in a
Lorentz and
tune.
Einstein did by requiring
What
a
do they do?
constant
What
speed
vector
of light.
positions do I know
As
on
an
the cosmic
example,
radiation
there's a link to the
background right now if I
derivation
had to
via the
go to those?
space-time interval in the description. But forget about the speed of light. This transformation is so profound
Beast.
that it
When you
is
get it, it's pretty
inevitable.
good.
Based on a
people
few
really
simple
understand
statements
it.
about the nature
It's
of
not so
space
much
and
about what these
time.
guys are doing, it's what
Let
you're
me
doing.
show you how.
Yeah.
First, we're not going to
Maybe there is
pretend
an
that we
area.
know how velocities add.
Certainly test
We don't
that.
know that total monkey speed equals pony blade
Always
speed plus
physics.
monkey skate speed.
If you
But why
missed
would
it.
you assume such a thing? Next, no preferred inertial reference frame. Under our new transformation, the laws of physics will work the
To
same,
get it out, and the people
regardless
who
of position,
understand it mean I need to
orientation, or
frame this.
velocity.
I need to
It
get
doesn't
out there
matter
in the
where the
stone
pony
mill
is,
and
how
figure
fast
out
it's going,
what the
or in what
penny is,
direction
what
it's
the
skating.
safety standards,
This must
what
be
is
true.
the skid steer
The Earth
rotation,
is
what's the
whizzing
new
around the
test
sun,
for the skid
the
steer
sun around the Milky
rotation.
Way.
If those
Position,
are the
orientation,
things,
and velocity are
how do I
changing
climb
massively.
that ladder? How long
Yet
do
our
those things
experiments
take?
don't
Why
seem
do
to
they
care
go
about
the
that.
way they go?
Finally, assume that the universe makes sense.
Because then you can
Require
take this
that
guy
we
and throw
can
him in the mill
consistently
instead of
transform
Lego.
between reference
It's obviously
frames.
different, but
I
math
should be able to use the
would
same
still
transformation to get to
give
the
you
monkey's frame
percentageably
as I
where you
used to get to
should
the
be on
pony's
gravity.
frame, just
I
by
mean,
using the
it's
different
hard,
velocities.
it's solid,
I should
but
also
like I
be able
said,
to jump
has a
consistently
lot to
through
do with the
multiple
safety
frames of
standards
reference
and
and
running
back
the
again.
nuclear
E.g.,
reactor
I can go
and
to the monkey's
being
frame by
the big
first going
one
to the
by the
pony's
stick
frame
on.
and then going from pony to monkey, and I can also get back
Cut
to
this
my
YouTube
frame
up and
by
throw
putting a
up a bunch
minus
of them.
sign on the velocities. Essentially, we're just requiring basic consistency in how the dimensions work. Finally,
This little HP
use these
drop.
axioms to do a teensy bit of
box.
algebra. See the link in the description.
And bring it to me to the
The
River
result
Station.
is the Lorentz transformation.
Sit down.
It's
We're gonna have
the
a
only
we're gonna have a
one that
lecture right now
satisfies
exactly
all
about
of
what
these
this is,
pretty fundamental
how I can hit
statements
you with
about the
time,
relativity,
space,
symmetry, and
about
consistency
where
of our
that's living
universe.
at that
It
desk.
must describe our reality, and therefore there must be a cosmic speed limit. Why? This absolute speed limit, let's call it C, is the one parameter defining the Lorentz
That's a
transformation.
rock.
Through
Okay.
this parameter,
That's
the Lorentz
just a
transformation
globular
predicts
state
the
of
cosmic speed
regular
limit.
thin if it's
Now,
solid
the
across.
Galilean transformation
That's
turns out just to be
special.
a special
If-
case of the Lorentz
If it's like
transformation,
that, it's
where
something
C
else.
equals
Which,
infinity.
if it happened in the
And
pile,
honestly, just from the
I would like to
symmetry
see
and relativity
area
arguments
out.
that we
That's why
made,
those tractor
C could
trailers
be infinity.
get that
But
area
for other
on
reasons,
core
still
samples or stone
unrelated to
walls in
light,
there
we know that
comparatively
it
to
cannot
just digging
be.
up
See,
somebody's
the
backyard.
Lorentz transformation finally allows us to write down a version of Maxwell's equation that is invariant to transformation. With it, we can write down one law for electromagnetism that works in all frames of reference. This is further evidence that our new transformation accurately
and
describes
so
our
M1,
reality.
M2, M3. See,
But
it's
it only
the
works for a
skid steer.
very
I want you
specific
to learn
value
that way.
of C.
In the outdoor
That
wood
value
crew, this is
has to be a
actually in
combination
line
of the
with
fundamental
how you
constants
learn to
of
rock,
Maxwell's equations.
how you begin to
For
test
the
the
laws
operator,
of
the ground
electricity and
guy, the
magnetism
floor
to
guy, what's
work,
trash,
we
what's
need a
yard dog,
finite
what's
maximum cosmic
big
speed,
ones, jumpers,
even
all the
without
other stuff.
considering light.
And that is the
But
area
check
where
this
you
out.
started.
The exact same
and the other
combination that
systems
gives us the
where you
cosmic
first
speed limit
developed the
also
models
happens to define the
to
speed
be
of
in the
propagation
guillotine
of
inside,
electromagnetic
but finally-
waves, the speed of light. C is the speed of light,
And you get
but
the
it's the
300
speed of causality
guy
first.
that's
It's the
doing
maximum
trolley
speed
car, and you
at
turn
which
it into
any
the
two
skid
parts of the
steer.
universe
This
can
is gonna
talk
break
to each
off
other.
down to
In
check
fact,
oil.
it's
What
the
is it
maximum
down?
speed at
Flame
which any
graph and
observers can see two parts of the universe talk
calculators,
to each other. Because
chemical
of this,
analysis
it's the
report,
only
scale
speed
house.
that any massless
tell you.
particle can travel. So light, or photons, also gravitational waves and gluons, all have no mass, and so they travel at the maximum possible speed. Mass is an impediment to motion. No mass, no impediment. So massless things go as fast as it's possible to go. In fact, the very existence of mass and space
Again,
and
tell me
time
the board
tells
scripture
us that
should
the
be,
universal speed limit
I
is
need you
finite.
to
Einstein's
come back
interpretation of the meaning
crazy
of
and
the
be like,
Lorentz
did you see
transformation
everything out
gives
there?
us the
Can you
special theory
graph
of
that?
relativity.
Alright,
Time
so it was
dilation,
worth it for
length
you to be out
contraction,
there
and
screwing
of course
around while I
mass
was fixing
energy
something I didn't want
equivalence.
you around.
As
Go
described
find me
by
the
the
L
famous
bracket,
equation,
bottle
E
of
equals
Reed
MC
remover, it's
squared.
that big green
Awesome
bottle
episode on
that
that
pulls
one
out
here.
those big
These
cracks
are
so we can get those
unavoidable
8-footers, man.
conclusions
You wanna
once
go
we
get
have
that
the
for 'em?
basic relationship relationship between space and time as described by the Lorentz transformation. And we accept Einstein's interpretation of it. So what
Salty.
happens without a universal speed limit and we
1%.
pretend c equals infinity? There is no matter, because it would take infinite energy to make any mass. there is only massless particles travelling at infinite speed.
unentangling
Time dilation and length contraction are infinite. There is no time and space, no cause or effect, because all locations and times
It's hard when you get no
communicate with
local,
each other
non-local, because
instantly.
this guy's probably
The
still alive.
universe is an infinitesimal here and now. This is all pretty paradoxical, and so there are by definition inconsistencies
black
in this
hole.
picture.
We can come together
However,
with
the
still
paradox itself
singularity.
tells us that an infinite speed limit is impossible. The finite speed of causality is fundamental to us having a universe in the first
You gotta
place.
well, which
And
brings up the
we want a
question
universe.
of when I asked the
So I can see
manager.
you back here on the next episode of Space Time. Last time on Space Time, we talked about the edge of the universe and Counter-Strike.